Once again, I welcome you on my channel. Today's topic is forest and wildlife resources. One had to listen very carefully, particularly students who are preparing for the board exam of 10th, 8th, and junior classes 4th. They will get the answers. Now, see, it is often said, first of all, how the forest is considered as a resource. And before it, I should tell you what is forest? Why it is considered as a resource? Forest means the natural green covering of the land. That is forest. Whatever, that is the natural green, the covering of the land, which is a naturally green, from grass to trees, that all considered as a forest resource. And it is considered the natural skin of the land also. It is often said that this planet's millions of years old. It has its natural skin. And that natural skin of the land, which is protecting the land, that is the forest. This is what forest resource. Now, the question is that this is one of the four most important resources. Why it is so? Even our basic needs is coming from the forest. Whatever it may be, food, shelter, clothes, everything we are getting from the forest. Another thing, is an important part of the ecosystem. Now the question arises, what is ecosystem? Even the human being is part of this ecosystem and very important part of the ecosystem. As far as the ecosystem is concerned, all the living organisms in which we are only the part and very much dependent on this system, on one another, for dependent on one another, that is called for our existence, that's called ecosystem. Human being is very important part of this ecosystem. One more thing. Why part and parcel of ecosystem? We are depending upon the ecosystem, or we are getting benefit from the ecosystem. And ecosystem depends upon us. We are in position to change the ecosystem also. That's the problem. The ecosystem is just like a rosary. It's often said, if one of the beads of the ecosystem is rosary is disturbed, then whole of the ecosystem will be disturbed. That's one thing. You have to remember it. We all are depending upon one another. In this ecosystem, all the living organisms, whatever they are, and surrounding and the environment plus, this is all the part of ecosystem. All are depending upon one another. For the organism also, for the recreation of the organism also, we are depending upon the ecosystem. In this ecosystem, there is a microorganisms also, there is a big organisms also, whatever they are depending upon the ecosystem. This is the main importance of the forest. This is the part of our ecosystem. And without this ecosystem, not only this, we took air from this ecosystem for breathe, and recreation also from this ecosystem. That we have realized. One more importance for the forest is, I have already told, that it's the natural skin of the land. You remember, if the natural skin of the land, if the natural skin of any organism, up to 75 it is removed, then if the organism can survive? Not at all. But that is what going to be happened. And already happened. With the earth also, which is the natural skin of the earth is the forest. but the forest is being removed. Even 70%, 60% forest has been removed, and the natural skin of the land has been removed. Our all biodiversity is at risk because of disturbing this natural ecosystem. I have told you the meaning of the natural ecosystem. Our ecological balance, it is called. There should be balance in all this system. That is all being disturbed. Another thing, what is biodiversity? See, biodiversity or biological diversity rich in wildlife and cultivated species on the land. The wildlife, diverse in form of the function but closely related to one another, means forest, wildlife plus surrounding plus habitat. That is all called biodiversity, या biological diversity. Now we are looking for the biological diversity. What is biological diversity? In simple words, forest plus wildlife plus environment plus climate, everything surrounding, this all make the biodiversity. Now biodiversity or biological diversity, that is the meaning of that. Now I have told you what is biodiversity. Biodiversity means, in simple way, you can say wildlife. Wildlife is as important as forest. This is also the part of the natural ecosystem, ecological balance. Now the wildlife means, what is the meaning of wildlife? That we have to tell in our examination words. Examination point of view, what answer we are going to give? If the wildlife, one is simple answer. Wildlife, we say the life in the forest. That is called wildlife. It's a simple meaning, but doesn't serve the purpose. Wildlife means life in the forest, we can say. And all the life, even, now the forest is itself a part of the wildlife. Wildlife, all the insects, all the birds, all the mammals, all the life, and cultivated species, all forms the wildlife. And wildlife, whatever we look around, that is all divided in two parts. One is flora and fauna. Now see, this is all wildlife. Wildlife is surviving on the forest and the forest is surviving on the wildlife. All are interdependent. Wildlife serves so many purposes. That's another thing. It's a resource. That's another thing. But first we have to see what type of the biological diversity we have in India. See, biological diversity means flora and fauna. You can say flora means the flower part, plants, and the fauna stands for the animal life. Life in the forest, that is fauna. As far as the flora is concerned, it has two senses, flowering plants and non-flowering plants. As far as the flowering plants, that's a flora. Flowering plants means the plants which have all these elements, or one of these elements, that is the roots, stem, leaves, flowers, whatever it is, everything it has. Or among these, one thing it has, that is a flowering plant. Whatever it may, it grows. Means all type of the fruit may have, they have flower may have, leaves they may have, whatever they have, that is called flowering plant. Non-flowering plant, this simply grows, but all these flowering elements are missing. That is fern and algae, which you study in biology. And this flowering plant and non-flowering plant, that is considered flora. That is considered flora. And in fact, India is one of the richest country in terms of variety of biological diversity, This is possible twice or thrice in number yet to be discovered. It is often said, India is rich in biological diversity, no doubt. But still we know 1/3 of this diversity is known to us. Still 2/3 is unknown to us. Unsuch, whatever it means. Now, in this biological diversity, detail of as far as millions of types of the flora and millions of types of the fauna we have over there. But wildlife, you may have realized the importance of three resources in our daily life. These diverse flora and fauna are so well integrated in our daily life that we take these for granted. This is a beautiful sentence. We have to understand the diverse flora and fauna so well integrated with one another, interlinked with one another, so well integrated in our daily life that we take these for granted. We take granted that that balance will be maintained between two. It will be continued. But now, stress many due to the insensitivity to our environment. But one problem is coming up. This balance is being disturbed. This integration is being disturbed. If it is being disturbed, then our environment is also going to be disturbed. Environment is going to disturb. Means our ecological balance is going to be disturbed. If the ecological balance is going to be disturbed, our ecosystem is going to be disturbed. The human activities are more disturbing our ecological balance, economic activities. Whatever it is, that is, we are responsible for that. How human activities are disturbing this, that we have to see in the next part. Ready for that.